Recently, Nvidia announced that it is buying about a 4% stake in Intel, roughly $5 billion in common stock, along with a strategic collaboration to co-develop chips for PCs and data centers. This comes after Intel received a 10% equity investment from the U.S. government under the Trump administration as part of a broader push to strengthen U.S. semiconductor manufacturing. What makes this more than just another corporate transaction is how loaded it is with political significance, what The Economist and others characterize as a shrewd political move. Here are the key dimensions, why it matters. Number 1, lifeline for Intel. Intel has been under pressure, financial losses, lagging performance in chip manufacturing, especially versus rivals in Asia, and a foundry business that has been struggling to attract outside customers. This investment boosts its capital, provides credibility, and opens up collaboration that might accelerate its turnaround. Number 2, strategic alignment with U.S. industrial policy. The U.S. government has already taken a 10% stake in Intel via CHIPS Act funding conversion as part of its agenda to ensure domestic capacity in semiconductors. Nvidia aligning with Intel now signals that it wants to be on the side of U.S. industrial priorities. It may also help Nvidia in regulatory or political optics, especially regarding export controls, scrutiny over concentration in the tech and semiconductor industries, and national security concerns. Number 3, symbolism and signaling. Even if Nvidia's financial return from this investment is modest relative to its total assets and operations, the symbolic value is large. It shows Nvidia is ready to put substantial money behind a struggling American legacy chipmaker, reinforcing the narrative that big tech is cooperating with national tech strategy, not just competing. Number 4, competitive implications. For Intel, it may help regain footing in PC and data center CPU markets and improve its competitiveness in integrated systems combining CPUs and GPUs. For Nvidia, it helps diversify supplies technology risk, reduce overdependence on external foundries, and may give more control or options in using Intel's CPU plus packaging plus advanced chip integration. Rivals like AMD, TSMC, and ARM may feel competitive pressure. AMD, because Intel plus Nvidia, may combine CPU plus GPU in new ways. TSMC, because Intel's foundry is being propped up, though Nvidia didn't commit to use Intel's foundry now. What it doesn't do, at least not yet. Nvidia has not committed to using Intel's foundry services immediately. Intel's foundry remains underperforming relative to rivals, and it's unclear when or whether Nvidia would use it for manufacturing. The stake is small enough that it doesn't give Nvidia undue control or board seats. It's more about alignment than takeover. Technical and integration risks remain. Aligning CPU and GPU architectures, production, yields, etc., takes time and careful engineering. Pulling together jointly built chips for PCs, data centers, is complex. The political angle. This is where The Economist's idea of shrewd political move comes in strongly. The U.S. is doubling down on keeping semiconductor supply chains onshore, reducing dependencies, maintaining technological leadership, and managing the geopolitical risk, especially versus China. Moves like this are not just commercial, they are part of national strategy. Nvidia's investment lines up with those priorities. For Nvidia, being seen as helpful in national tech policy may yield regulatory benefits, better access to government contracts or support, possibly softer constraints in export or trade policy, and prestige. The timing is important. After the government's unexpected move to take a 10% stake in Intel, this is a follow-on that signals to Washington that Nvidia is a partner, not an adversary, in the U.S. push for semiconductor dominance. Risks and uncertainties. Operational risk. Intel has been trying to turn itself around for years, producing at scale, keeping up in process node, foundry competition are all big challenges. Political risk. Regulatory scrutiny is high in semiconductors. Deals like this can draw antitrust attention, concerns about consolidation, and geopolitical backlash. Financial optics. Some analysts question whether this sort of pure stake purchase is good use of shareholder capital. You can argue shareholders could do that themselves, and whether the returns will justify the outlay. Nvidia's $5 billion stake in Intel is not just about immediate financial return. It's a multifaceted move with political, strategic, and symbolic dimensions. It gives Intel a much-needed shot in the arm, aligns Nvidia more closely with U.S. industrial policy, and helps shape the narrative in the AI and semiconductor race. Whether it pays off depends on how well Intel can execute, how flexible Nvidia is, especially around manufacturing, and how U.S. policy, global supply chains, and competition evolve over the next few years. That's your TechTide news update for today. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest in tech.